Well, there we go. Good morning. All the ducks have fallen in the row at the moment. Technology is wonderful, isn't it? But it's also the factor of coming in and resetting and then having to redo it. So, second time lucky. Hopefully, it's not needing a third. It's interesting. It really is. I wouldn't be without it, though. We are here for the daily Lenormand card spread reading, and I am live on our Soulpreneurs app in the Lenormand Cards group. And Dave is there. So, hi, Dave. I just noticed that he has joined. So, it's wonderful to be able to share all out and about with whatever we have from our heart centre because that's why I do this. I just absolutely love it. And I've got my little owls looking over my shoulder, and there's definitely the one in front on my desk. So I can't reach up and get that. Otherwise, you'd only get purple front. So we're here for doing the cards. I'm going to switch over, tap into your psychic senses. Even if you don't feel that you have them, you do. Everybody does. It's called intuition, gut feeling, or whatever it is that you're connecting with that gives you those little inklings of etc. That inner knowing. But we can, too, with purpose and consciousness, actually ask and connect with our guardian angels, our guiding spirits, our God, even with Christ in the way that we pray at times. Whoever, whatever the name be for your connection, tap into it. Connect now, and I'll go over to the cards. Now we have the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck, this one again. Because I tend to stick with this one through the weekdays. So it's Ciro Marchetti's deck, the expanded edition. I have got my owl card here, and he's a lovely little owl card. And what this one is, I think yesterday we had something about don't let anyone ruffle your feathers. Here we are. I am a work in progress, and that is going to be until the day I die. And each and every one of us, we are continuing on our pathway of being that work in progress. Just love what you do, love who you are, the beingness of who you are. And it comes in the love. It actually is. It's because that central card is what my focus is for the day. I saw all these others and thought, God, we had that one yesterday. We had that one yesterday. We had that one yesterday. Oh, here's a new one. The clouds come in, and then here we got it. The heart at the center. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we've got the mask in the home space. That's on the left of the cross. We've got the mountains on the right in the workspace. We've got the mice up the top of the cross. We've got the clouds at the bottom of the cross. Now, the top of the cross, that's the unexpected. What we have at the bottom with the clouds is our role. And right in the center, it is the outcome. But I like to feel it is actually the pivot as well. On those little pinwheel, the little wind generator type things, the pinwheel,
where it's the center, you've always got to have something that it's anchored to that creates that ability for the motion with the wind and those other influences around it. So that's what I'm getting is the picture in my mind today, that here we have that beautiful loving from the heart that is our anchor, that is our central picture, pivot. It's the profile that we're needing to be put out. We have profile pictures in our avatars, all sorts of different places and spaces, only because I've already been on a webinar that was to do with some marketing hints and tips. So I've done a lot this morning already. I have taken the doggies for a walk. So Oreo and Tilly have had their walk today. And I know Alice doesn't watch this, but Alice, they've had a walk. I've been for a walk. I might pay for it a bit later, but hey, that's all right. We're getting out and about, feeling better, because motion does help keep things moving, obviously, in more ways than one. Right, here we go. Mask in the home space, we've got that vulnerability happening, and sometimes we can treat that as almost that playful thing that we're going to play, almost a hide and seek. Do you remember doing that when you were a kid? I know I do bring things back a bit to those times where, in our childhood. But isn't that, well, I suppose because I'm getting older, I'm trying to keep remembering more of the things from the from the days past, years past. Well, it's ages. What's time? It's irrelevant because we still have those memories. We still know things that, even in other realms that we've been. It's it's just have some fun. What I'm feeling with the home space, it almost is, you'll find those spaces and places that you need to upend to look for under and all that sort of stuff. Because yesterday I did need to clean out a dog's kennel, and I lifted it up and under and I got rid of the spider webs and the spider egg nests and all that sort of stuff. Things that you don't do very often. And I feel that we're going to need some playfulness today that is for things that we don't do very often, and bring in that wonderful spark of energy that's from that loving heart, that space that is our inner core. Oh, good morning, Dee. How are you this morning? You're over there on YouTube. Yay. Right. So with that playfulness, I do feel it's more the playfulness because we're clearing energy. We're going across from that heart center pivot, and we're going to be challenging our workspace. Whatever we're going to be picking up and doing, it's almost, and I'm sensing it is that lightness of challenge. It's that, it's putting the good energy on. Like you've decided you're taking that first step. You might not like what you're about to do, which, putting on the socks and shoes and, oh God, with the dogs taking them for a walk, trying to remember how the heck to put their special harnesses on, because I needed to put a harness on. Each of them, they've got a harness. Instead of just putting the chain on the collar, which is what I used to do with Peanuts, these have things that go underneath their bellies type, so it's not stressing the neck or the throat part, something like that. Oh, it was fun trying to remember that because it feels like so long ago since they went for a walk. But we did, and they took me for the walk. And it was a challenge going up the little hill because I haven't done it for so long. Here we've got what are mountains. We can choose whether we're going to stay as close to the level plane as possible or climb that highest of peaks today. So in your workspace, take on the challenge, but do it with, once you've taken that first step, the energy's going and you're really enjoying what you're doing and the scenery and everything that is coming to you as you are going to it, sort of thing. It's a meeting. It's a putting the foot to the ground and a meeting and connection of that's coming forward. And really, you can feel that energy self-generating as you're moving forward. Let that be what you're doing in your workspace, and make sure that it's that you're loving to do. Sometimes things that we don't quite like, we can, we don't have the skills for absolutely everything. See if there's someone else who likes doing that little bit better than you and hand it off. They will have better fun with that than you, and etc. Everything will blend and meld together to be what is this beautiful mountain range? Everything in its right place. Um, and Dee's just saying, oh, she's okay. You definitely got her to watch this today while you're on live. Oh, great cards. Just what I needed to hear today. Yes, I am on a little bit earlier because of needing to do some work. There was something else. Yeah, that's right. It's a full work day today, Thursday. Opening and closing. I love that. Opening and closing a modern pram is a challenge. Oh, look, I haven't had that experience for years. My grandchildren were alive. Well, I've grown up mostly now, and I hadn't needed to actually use a modern pram. I think it was probably once, and the mother did it, not me. uh, and it can be that small. There's something in the workspace that's going to be either a small one or a biggie. Just take it on with full stride and really enjoy what you're doing. Now, we did have the mice hit, and it was in the unexpected from memory yesterday. Again, in this space. So it's so much resourcefulness, resourcefulness, because the mice are putting a lot of energy into being resourceful in however they're trying to get to that food and play around and have fun, because there's a nibble there. They don't finish it off. They're just attacking everything. I just feel it's just with great gusto and appreciation of what's around them, and let's make the most of what we have. And it just feels like getting in and enjoying it, not a care in the world, and really having that beautiful energy to me around it. I know, Lenormand, when you look at a guidebook, I have actually looked at the guidebook once, probably twice in those really, really early days of when I picked them up. And then I thought, no, look, I just don't want to use those. Take what is in front of you as the picture and the flow of what is happening in the trending of the cards and what it's speaking to you about. So Dee's saying you were surprisingly awake early. So was I. And I thought, I'll go back to bed. I took off my night in and went the usual stuff. I laid back in the bed, and then I'm going to go for a walk. It was just, I knew Spirit was getting me out. And here we have for our role. Here we've got the clouds. Now, the clouds isn't always just about mood and depressions and stuff like that. It really is that from where we are at this ground level and connecting with what is the soaring to the skies, because that there is here. At that point, there is the birds that are flying free. And what I'm feeling for this in our energies today, really, it's the clearing the energies. I've felt so flat over the last few days. There we've got that feels the stormy gut and stuff like that, and it's moving on. And here we have that setting free, that walk, that flying free. For me, it was like walking free, and it's getting that energy moving. It's really letting ourselves fly, move, do what we need to. And, as much as possible, it's with that, the even stormy winds, there's movement. You can't see air, but there's movement because of everything else that's moving around it. And that's how our heart's going to work our day to day, I bet. We're going to have that influence around and about us of having that loving energy right from our central, the heart space. Put some soul into it, into how, and you don't have to be gooey, fluffy and cute and all that sort of stuff. It's just being who you are with that self-love first, in that really unconditional space. We had the dogs in it yesterday, and just be the love that you are. It's just so wonderful to actually see that as the center. It really is. And Viv, I do remember you saying about, I don't know how long ago, that you had mentioned and asked about your separation and does he still love you and come back. This isn't the space that I answer questions that are on the personal level. It is a general card spread reading. What do you feel about it, Viv? That's the most important. Why, you've been together for 20 years. Yes, but certainly there's things that happen in life that even when the things change, there is still that love at the basis of every, make it that love that's at the basis of everything that's happening for you today and tomorrow and the next. Be that love. And it's not just about the agape, that in love feeling that, do you love me? If you did, you would. It's not that at all. That's conditioning. That's actually putting conditions on how you want people to behave because they say and don't and all the rest. It's that sense of connection that is everlasting in ourselves, with ourselves first, that makes the difference. And understanding from an unconditional love that sometimes we do need to let people go and live what they feel is their life. And sometimes we need to let go and move on because we feel that we need to live our own lives. And that comes about because I left my husband of 33 years, many years ago now. It's a few years ago now. I didn't ever stop loving him at all, never ever. It kept holding in my heart. I kept holding him in my heart. And I still haven't released him, even though he's died. There's a story for everyone. We each have our stories. And love is the holding pattern for all of those. If we allow, we need to actually recognize and know that love is it. Unconditional love is the basis of everything. And it's why I was just so absolutely happy to see, happy, joyous, really excited to see the heart as that central card today. It was wonderful to see. So just to allow that flow, Viv, that's just my advice over time. Hurt does leave, it softens and all the rest, because it doesn't mean you can't experience other emotions with what is the situations that are around you, even though you know there is that continuity, that soulmate connection, that love connection, that all that is of what you've had for 20 years, continue it on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does matter to actually feel and touch into your inner beingness of knowing, look, it's still a love that is there. It doesn't have to go. It doesn't have to be anything different than what it is. It's just that your life experiences now have changed. What you are doing or not doing together has changed. Who you are with has changed. Live more for what you need to be doing for your path, not expecting him to change his. It's all of what it's going to be. And with anything, it comes down, communication, relationships, everything that we are with each other, it comes down to communication, really, how we're expressing ourselves to each other in the ways that it can be from that loving base, and being able to move with what we need to move through. Not all experiences feel good. That's fine. It's what we're needing to work through and live to grow. And there's some of those challenges for you today. Now, that's where we are with the cards for the day today. So thank you for joining in. And thank you for your comment there, Viv, or your question as far as will he come back. Nothing is ever going to be an absolute. So live with the connection that you have with Spirit, each and every one of you, from your own heart and into your space, what you're living and all the rest, and the people around you and where you are. We only know our own life situation because we're living in our own body. We cannot change others. We need to change ourselves and our understandings. That's why we grow. It's why we're here, is to understand ourselves. Okay, and that's not in a selfish way either. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for being part of the readings, the card spread reading this morning. Take your focus onto whichever of those cards you need to bring into being the more in the day or not. I know for me, it's definitely that focus is the heart space, that one in the middle. And I like the pinwheels. So, energy shifts. So do these. It's not just in each of those spaces. It really is that beautiful connection with all of these energies in our day, with all of what you're going to experience too. So, and thank you, Dave, for being in the chat there. And thank you to each and every one of you. Stay beautiful, stay doing what you know best, be your best, learn as much as you can. It's all of that progress along life's pathway, isn't it? And namaste until tomorrow at 7:30.